High def. There we go. There.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's good to see you guys once again. Thanks for tuning in today on the Dad Talk Today channel, or even if you guys are on my channel, The Big Show by Jimmy Smith on Facebook and YouTube. My name is The Big Show. They call me Jimmy Smith. And alongside of me, as always, a good friend of mine and a father of three. We all know him and love him, Dewayne Ward. Happy Father's Day, my friend. How are you doing? How was your day so far?
Well, that's going pretty good. Actually, I got a t-shirt. I didn't get my new t-shirt on because it'll probably be a little bit offensive for everybody. But I got the Greatest Father Award. I don't know if you can see it. It's backwards. They kind of encapsulated kind of who I am. So for those I can't read, the Greatest Farter, which pretty close.
Well, I want to say Happy Father's Day to everybody. Dewayne and I decided to put together a nice little Father's Day special for all of you guys out there, just to say thank you. And for a lot of you guys out there, it's been a special day, and I really hope that it has been for you guys. I hope that you guys have been able to see your kids or at least talk to them. And then for some of you guys, unfortunately, it may not be such a great day because you are not able to be with your kids, or for some reason may not even be able to see them. So just want to let you guys know that I empathize with you guys, and I'm sorry about that if that is you. But what we're going to do today, guys, is let's just lock arms, man. Let's just band together today, a group of guys and a few gals listening to, and let's just kind of celebrate the men out there who are fathers and the men out there trying to push to be the best dad that they possibly can. And just guys out there that just make the world turn around, man. So I want to just, put together a little podcast with my buddy Dewayne and just, talk a little bit about being guys. A little masculinity today will sound off in the comment section. I want to hear your guys' feedback out there. I want to hear your guys' stories. And then we'll come up with a little bit of statistics and reasons why guys are so important in the household, and maybe it'll educate you guys a little bit or even make you guys laugh. So today, Dewayne. So Dewayne is a father of two biological boys and one bonus child, so a father of three for many years now. And Dewayne, did you guys do anything special today? Did they come over? Did you guys watch TV together? What did you guys do?
Yeah, I had the boys come over, and it was a good day. Actually, they down there right now. I had to leave, come upstairs for the show. But yeah, it was a good day. Got to see them, so good. All happy there. I did want to point out, for the fathers that aren't able to see their kids and all that, we do have a free support group on Facebook for Dad Talk Today support group. That if you're feeling down, which I can imagine, or I can't even imagine. Reach out, get on to that support group, and tell people your story, tell them what's going on, and just again, as Jimmy pointed out, locking arms with everybody else, and we'll get through this.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to say hello to Mike Keller. I see he's on. Father X, XL Pro, Joy's back on. A lot of people here are on the stream right now watching. So again, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. In a world. Growing up, a lot of kids out there are in fatherless households, and it's kind of become the common reality for many kids in America. We're really kind of all around the world, maybe Eastern Europe as well. And the impact of the absence can be very profound when fathers are not in the households. Research show that children, without a father figure often face a higher risk of emotional and behavioral and academic challenges, and they're a lot more likely to struggle with low self-esteem and encounter difficulties in school. They're more likely to exhibit delinquent behavior. The presence of a father provides children with a sense of security and structure and a positive role model, which is very crucial to the development of children. Fathers play a very unique role in teaching discipline and respect and resilience. And they offer a balance to the nurturing often provided by their mothers. And I think that God made that perfectly, because women do, for more times than not, a very good job of being that nurturer, and fathers do a really good job of being that disciplinarian and structure, organization, and discipline. And the two go really in hand to hand when the mother and the father can work together for this. And therefore, when you think about it, the father's presence is essential in fostering a well-rounded, confident, and capable child. He helps highlight the irreplaceable value of fatherhood in their kids' life. And as politically incorrect as that may sound, or as what this is about to sound like, women can't do it all. Mothers can't do it all. They were never designed to do it all. And there shouldn't be an expectation for women to do it all. There shouldn't be an expectation for a man to do it all. The expectation should be that we come together, we bond as a family, and we do it together as a collective unit. And I say that not to criticize, I say that not to belittle. It's just a statement related to competency. It's not criticism to her ability or strength. It's the point is this: in parenting, one is not more important than the other. They both have a very important, crucial role. And mothers and fathers hold both essential roles in child's development. Both are needed. The problem that we see a lot, and the problem that the people here in the comment section have gone through, is that the courts and a lot of exes keep men from their children. And over the last 30, 40, 50 years, we've seen that exponentially grow and grow and grow to the point to where society is where it's at today. The court system and some ex-wives can significantly impact the ability of fathers to maintain relationships with their children. And that leads to limited or no contact. And for a lot of guys in the comment section or listening right now,
they're like, yep.
They know exactly what I'm talking about. Stats highlight the prevalence and the consequences of this outcome. For instance, a report from the U.S. Census Bureau indicates that about 80% of parents are mothers. Custodial parents are mothers. That leaves many fathers with restricted access to their kids. And additionally, a survey conducted by the National Parents Association found that nearly 1/3 of fathers have minimal or no contact with their kids at all post-divorce. That's heartbreaking. And before we get a lot of our female listeners come into the comment section saying, well, they don't want to be part of their kid's life. Just stop. Okay. just absolutely stop. I don't want this to turn bad on a podcast, but the truth is that the large majority of men want to be in their in their children's lives. A large, overwhelmingly majority. And yes, there are deadbeat dads. And there are deadbeat mothers. And I don't know the stats on what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna give my guess. There's probably more deadbeat dads than there probably is deadbeat moms. I don't know that to be true, but I'm gonna go ahead and just give the argument. But the point I'm trying to make, though, is that the amount of deadbeat dads is very, very small. But yet, a lot of times, mothers will take that very small percentage of men and make it seem like we all are deadbeat dads. And that is simply not the truth.
Well, how are you defining deadbeat? Are you saying exclusively like ones that pay child support? Because I don't know. If that's the case, we do have data on that. And per capita, women that pay child support and men that pay child support, more women by far don't pay child support when older than men do.
You mean whenever women are older to pay a child support, they default on their child support payments more than men?
More often, yes. Yeah. And I have personal experience in that area. So it's a whole other fun topic. But you're
owed some money.
I'm owed a lot of money. Well, I'm sorry, my youngest son, is owed a lot of money, and I think she is 2 years behind. I believe, yeah, I think she's 2 years at this point behind, and of course, nothing's happening. And
So let me ask you a question, just because
yeah,
my own ignorance, and
yeah,
guys, forgive me. I'm not a father myself. I'm just an advocate for you guys, and so I'm going to be a little bit ignorant to somehow how these laws are. That's why I got this guy. So
I'm ready to bring receipts. Trust me.
because I'm not that smart, but he watches my blind spot. So Dewayne, here's my questions for you. My understanding, okay, is that if a man was ordered to pay child support and he defaulted for 2 years, he'd be in jail.
Oh yeah, yeah, in a heartbeat most of the time. And the way it's one of those things where you start, going down the rabbit trail, the rabbit hole. The way they make the child support arrangement is to usually break the payer, however that works out. And like the data that's come out is somewhere around 40 to 60% of all child support that's owed has not been paid. Well, when you look at it, I think it's around. I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry, take it back. It's around 20%. So it's all on the website. And then for the 60 to 80% of that, what they've done is they've made child support required of people that have no way of paying it. So you'll have people that are unemployed. They've never held a job. They have no intentions of ever working, and they put a $10,000 child support order on them. Yeah. The guy's never going to pay. And I'm saying guy, I mean, generically either way. So that, they'll come up with that number, but kind of answering your question. Yeah. Going back to the data is that if a guy is unable to pay, they'll have him put in jail, because again, one of the 6 things that the OAG, the Office of the Attorney General, in order to get their reimbursement back from the state, is their collection efforts. So if let's pretend it's me, and we'll just use my situation. When I had to pay child support, I had a full-time job. It was W-2, my Social Security. I paid my taxes. Is relatively easy. If they send a letter, that is them enforcing child support, and that's why I never had a choice on it really. Well, after the first year, now my ex-wife refuses to work, won't get a job, doesn't have easy assets to attach, things like that. They won't do anything to her because there's no reimbursement money that they're going to get back for it.
I see.
That's just kind of how that works. And usually more guys will work, and that's one heck of an incentive. And of course, can you imagine on Channel 4 News, we put Bob Jones in jail for non-payment of child support. Hell, we have a show where we have a video where they put in men that have overpaid their child support into jail. That happened in Texas. The guy was actually ahead on paying his child support, and the OAG put him in jail. But can you imagine the outcry, the craziness that would ensue if we put poor Susie Smith in jail for not paying child support? It just does not happen.
Sounds a little bit like a double standard that favors women. I mean, you add it to that list. Oh yeah, good book right there. Good book.
Chapter 2, it talks all about that. Anyway,
yeah, and the family courts have historically favored mothers in custody battles. They often grant them with custody, primary custody, and that can marginalize the role of fathers. And this trend can be attributed to lingering stereotypes about gender roles, where mothers are seen as the primary caregivers and fathers are seen as the primary providers.
Right.
And moreover, some ex-wives may actively obstruct the father's relationship with their children, either out of spite or belief that they are protecting that child.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, a lot of information is actually talked about in this book. This book has been a treasure trove of data in that area, and it's quite amazing how that works. And after you get done reading it, it is the feminist lie. Is what they've been taught. On the child support topic and minimizing, father involvement, it's crazy. And again, of course, I bring the receipts because I love when people try to challenge my data. If I'm permitted to, I would love to put up some of this information.
You're welcome to, my friend.
Okay. So first piece of information, as Jimmy was talking about, as far as single parent homes, this is actually the information is from, I believe, 2018. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2018. It's actually worse now. It's at 25% now. But the United States, hands down, we are the number one single parent country in the world. So yay us, go America. We have done the best job in doing that. flipping forward here, when you were talking about the importance of a father's involvement, and there's all kinds of data. This is stuff that's been peer reviewed. We got 60 years worth of data. It's one of those it's not even an argument unless you just really got to argue with me. But having a father involved. And this is why I find it so weird that you have so many women. And I know they're going to have the feminazis out there that are, what about but again, this is father involvement. So, logic would dictate that the mother is the one removing the father from the picture through the courts. But they're 39% likely to earn A's in school with the father's involvement, 45% less likely to repeat a grade, 60% less likely to be suspended, 2 times more likely to go to college, 75% less likely to have a teen birth. Ooh, shocker there. And 80% less likely to spend time in jail. And there's so many more stats out there. But what it boils down to, and this is where I get into the feminist lie, and I talk about how and other things where women have been lied to all these years, is that this is the way it works. This is all about money. It's all about the judge, the legislator, the attorney, your attorney. Everyone's in on the scam, and I've talked about that. Who knows how many times that people go, "What is he talking about?" It's one of those you got to put your tinfoil hat on and dig in a little bit. But like this is the symbiotic relationship that they all have, and they're using women. I mean, if there's any feminists on here, the thing that you're going to have to come to realize is that you've been lied to, just not embellished upon or an unwitting participant. You have been lied to. This was all designed to do this. So I'll step off my my thing here, but I have plenty more slides and a lot more receipts to give on all these different topics. But
it's just a shame, man. It's just a shame that the government that we put together, the people that we elect, the people that we put in place to keep us safe and help us prosper and move society forward, are the same people who take advantage because of the power that they have, and they are seemingly in some sort of scheme to. I mean, I don't know what their gig is. I think that what they're trying to do is they're trying to slow down the population, the overall population growth.
You've hit it. You've hit chapter 4. When we talk about, I can talk about Steinem, Gloria Steinem. I can talk. I mean, there's so much data that shows that this was all government orchestrated. I mean, you had people, and there's so much information. I'm trying to find a way to condense it down to make it palatable for people, but at the end of the day, women have been lied to by the government, and we're seeing what's happened, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and what's the outcome? I mean, what's the results of no father in the home? The lack of paternal involvement can have detrimental effects on their kids. When you look at the studies, it shows that kids without regular contact with their fathers are more likely to experience emotional and behavioral problems. They perform bad in school, and they engage in delinquent behavior. It's crucial to address the systemic biases and promote more balanced custody arrangements to ensure that kids benefit from the presence and involvement of both the mother and the father.
You want to know why that doesn't happen?
Why is that?
This is it right here.
Child support.
Yeah, it's child support. The Title IV defunds the $60 billion a year industry, and it's just that is the way it's set up. Is because again, we need a winner because the feds don't pay us for equal custody decision. That's it. I mean, they want the fight. I mean, and everyone on the show, and again, if you don't believe this, inbox, and if you honestly don't understand it. I get people that want to argue for argument's sake, and I take them through all the data and all that, and they just want to argue because they're idiots or they're feminazis, one of the two, and it's just not worth talking. But at the end of the day, it's that this is where they're all at. Is they want that money, and that's just the sad truth of it all. And they've been sold a lie. So I'll get off that thing and continue on. Again, there's just so much. Having a father in the house does so much, and I want to give women the benefit of the doubt and say they didn't know their feelings, and we'll talk about that more later as we talk about the kind of the beginnings and how families should be constructed and all that. But having I want to give women the benefit of the doubt and say they just didn't realize their emotions got the better of them, which is where, again, I hope no one argues with me. Women operate more off of feelings than facts. And when their feelings are hurt, that their man's not doing enough for them and taking them where they want to go or whatever, they get rid of them and then replace them with the next guy or the next whatever. And they're damaging their children. And I'm assuming they just don't know. I'm hoping they don't know. They're just too dumb to realize it. They don't know they're actively doing this. I hope.
One of the things that I've noticed whenever I talk to guys in counseling or things like that is that a big worry that guys have, Dewayne, when they grew up without a father, is that they worry about being good fathers themselves.
Yeah.
And I guess it doesn't really surprise me because, they didn't have that good masculine role model there. So they worry about whether or not they're going to be a good father. And I think that a lot of guys end up being really good dads when they don't have a dad themselves. But then not always, sometimes guys just take a turn for the worst. And, with all the crime that some of these guys commit, whenever there's not a good structure or discipline in the household from their fathers, they don't get a chance to really prosper and grow in life and they just give up. But men who grew up without a father often grapple with concerns about their own abilities to be a good father to their children. And the absence of a parental role model can leave these guys feeling uncertain and unprepared for fatherhood, as they may lack firsthand experience from what a healthy father-child relationship should even look like.
Right.
And this worry is compounded by societal expectations and the internal pressure to avoid repeating the cycle of absence that they experienced. And research indicates that men raised in fatherless households are more likely to question their parenting skills and feel inadequate in the roles as fathers because they might fear that they don't possess the necessary tools to provide the emotional support, discipline, guidance that their kids need. And this apprehension can stem not from just having observed the everyday responsibilities and interactions, but involved in the child and the fatherhood itself, which leaves them without like a blueprint to follow.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Despite these concerns, a lot of guys who grew up without fathers are deeply committed to being present and involved in their child's life, despite the concerns.
Yeah.
They strive to break the cycle of absenteeism. They often seek out resources such as parenting classes and mentorship programs and advice from other fathers. And that's great. They're trying to build their confidence. They're trying to build their skills. And by actively engaging in their children's lives and making a conscious effort to learn and grow, these guys can overcome the fears that they have and become that nurturing, effective father that they want to be. And I think that many men grapple with the worry of whether or not they'll be good fathers, often feeling that weight of responsibility and desire to raise their children well in a crazy world that we live in. And I mean, the concern is natural. As a role, the father is crucial to shaping kids' life. We know that. And men, they fear failing. They fear falling short in providing that guidance and positive example.
Yeah.
They might worry about their ability to balance discipline with love or about repeating mistakes from their own upbringing.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of the anxieties that these guys feel can be overwhelming, but they also reflect a deep commitment to being the best father that they can be, seeking guidance and reassuring from trusted resources such as other good fathers or such as the Bible, for instance. And those can help alleviate these fears, offering framework for fatherhood grounded in enduring wisdom and compassion. And, when you look at the biblical portion of a father, I've noticed, and we've talked about this a few times, where guys are just kind of leaving the church. They're not as active as they were. And so guys don't have that guidance, that biblical guidance that they once had in mass. And I've noticed that a lot of women, when they're looking for a man, a husband, a man who loves God is amongst their top priorities.
Well, they say that.
They say that when they talk about the characteristics.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, besides their height and their money or whatever, but I believe and I pray that there's going to be a swing as people start to wake up from the realization of all the lies of the feminist movement. And it's still nice to see that there are women out there who want to be led by a man who is led by the Lord, and guys who are competent, and guys who are masculine. They don't, there's still a lot of women out there who don't believe in words such as toxic masculinity.
No. Well, can I read you from Linda Gordman? She was the one of the top folks in the feminist movement. What she wrote?
Yeah.
This is, again, a quote: "The nuclear family must be destroyed. Whatever its ultimate meaning, the breakup of families now is an objectively revolutionary process. No woman should have to deny herself of any opportunities because of her special responsibility to her children." End quote.
Wow.
And there's, I mean, the littered with, comments, and that's why I talk about, the feminist lie. Well, I'm kind of, hitting on that. We talk about, you talked about, the biblical framework. I've shown this a million times. It's Christ, husband, wife, children, and the order. And I do have some slides that talk to, where all this started, where it changed, what it means. You'll get your learn on and the biblical world here at the towards the end of the show as we talk into that area. You've kind of laid that out, but just some verses here. This is verses to fathers and what they're supposed to instill in their children, what they would expect, and you can look them up on your own versus me talking about, but Proverbs 17:6, children's children are the crown of old men, the glory of children is their father. They all say the same thing. These are just some of the verses that talk to that and how important the nuclear family, the Christian biblical viewpoint is, and why society is trying to destroy it, as pointed out in one of the ladies in this book. And I saw that someone's actually bought the book or has ordered the book now. You will love every word on this thing. It's a great primer. It's stuff from all over the place condensed into one volume. So I like those data driven type books, and it's real sarcastic. So it also appeals to that area of all that. But yeah. And we can talk through like the results of no fathers in the household. I have the receipts for all the things that we're wanting to talk about. So you let me know where we want to go with it, and I'm there for you.
Well, while you're on the subject, let's go ahead and talk about the church a little bit. On the big show, we don't really get into a lot of religious things. We don't get into a lot of politics because it can be pretty controversial. But we get into religion just a little bit, and I think let's go ahead and dip our toes into the water just a little bit, because there's guys out there who, although they may not be a big fan of the way the churches are today, they still understand the importance of, being led, leading their family by being led by the Lord. And so I'll give my perspective on what the biblical role of a father is, in case you guys wanted to hear what my thoughts are. If you're one of the many fathers out there that worry if you're going to be a good dad, worried if you're doing this right, worried if you can be better, worried if you even want to be better. I mean, if you answer yes to any of those things, then listen, because I understand how you can find it challenging to be a good father. And it's important to recognize that while learning from other men can provide invaluable insights, it's absolutely true. You have to understand that it can only take you so far. To truly excel as a father and as a husband, turning to the Bible offers a profound and timeless model to follow. To Dewayne's earlier point, the Bible provides clear guidance on fatherhood and marriage, emphasizing love, patience, humility, responsibility. Scriptures such as advise fathers to not provoke their children to anger, but to bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord come to mind. Scriptures, husbands are to love their wives as Christ loved the church, with selflessness and sacrificial love. I hope I'm saying that right. Those things come to mind. by embracing these biblical principles, guys like us can strive to become the best possible father and husband that we can be, and it'll be rooted in faith and moral integrity. As a man, and I'm not going to tell you guys things that you probably don't know, but let's go ahead and still talk about it. Let's just go ahead and, as guys, talk about it. Guys, you are a teacher. As a father, you are an important teacher. A father's teachings cannot be replaced by their mother or society. Do not make the same mistake that many women make when they expect the schools to raise their children. As a dad, it's your responsibility to lead your family's spiritual journey, your responsibility. So teaching your children to love the Lord is not the church's primary responsibility. It's the father's primary responsibility. Yep. It's the parents' duty, mostly the father's duty. That's your job. That's your task. You need to step up and you need to lead this, guys. Lead this journey, because no one else is going to do it. It's your responsibility. But even outside the biblical guidelines, fathers still play a crucial role. Fathers and mothers are children's most important teachers. Fathers may ask themselves, what are my children learning about life in general, about morality, about how family members should treat each other, about relationships? What are they learning? What are my children learning from observing me every day? Have you ever thought about that, guys? Have you ever thought about what your kids are learning from observing you every day?
Yeah, they're always watching. That's the thing that when I've counseled other fathers, I'm like, they're always watching everything you do, good and bad. They are watching and they're imitating, mimicking that behavior and drawing those lessons. You raise a hand to a woman, they're going to think that's okay. You cheat, lie, steal, whatever that is, they're learning from you, good or bad. They're picking it up from you.
They are, man. And so, guys, what's the answer? How are you doing? What are your children learning from observing you? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it okay? Can you do better? Do you want to? Let me give you guys some biblical verses that can reinforce important roles for fathers. If I mess them up, forgive me. I'm not a big, huge, I don't know
the Bible thumper.
I'm not as good as other guys. I'm not. I do the best I can, but I read, but I'm not as good as some of you guys. And these words I command you today shall be on your hearts. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise. Another one is, for I have chosen him, meaning the man, so that he will direct his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what's right and just, so that the Lord will bring about Abraham what he has promised. That's in Genesis. And another one, hear, my son, your father's instructions, and forsake not your mother's teaching, for they are a graceful garland to your head and penance for your neck. That's Proverbs 1:8-9, I believe. Guys, in addition to being the first teacher, you're also a role model. You are a role model, a very important role model. You don't have to parent long to realize the phrase, do as I say, not as I do, and how that rarely plays out that way.
Yeah.
Children, whether they're young or whether they're older, they continue to watch and learn, just like Dewayne said. You teach with your words, but you speak with your actions. It's an easy concept to understand, but it's a whole lot more difficult to implement, right? I get it, because we all fail. I fail. Dewayne fails. You fail.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing. Look, if you feel lost, you're not alone. If you feel like you can be better, you're not alone. If you feel like you're doing good, but that you owe it to your kids to be a little bit better than what you are today, you are not alone. And if you're interested in learning more, but you don't know where to start, let me give you a little bit of advice, okay? Churches are mostly free. They offer a various amount of classes and programs designed to help men become better fathers and even better husbands. They're grounded, of course, in biblical principles and community support. And I put together a small list in case you guys wanted to see it of classes that you guys could do if you wanted to be better men, if you wanted to be biblically led to be better fathers. I put together some classes here that the church, most churches will offer. And the very first one is parenting workshops. Parenting workshops can provide practical advice and strategies for effective parenting, covering topics like discipline and communication and building strong relationships with children. They often incorporate biblical teachings to align parenting techniques and Christian values. Another one is men's Bible study groups. Those groups offer opportunities for men to delve into scripture, focusing on passages that discuss fatherhood and leadership and marital responsibility. They provide a space for discussion and mutual support and spiritual growth. A lot of you guys could benefit from that.
Yeah.
The third one that I came up with is marriage enrichment programs. These classes help men provide better relationships with their spouses, which in return, of course, benefits the children. Topics like communication, conflict resolution, understanding marital roles from a biblical perspective. Another one was fatherhood. Let me put it back up. Fatherhood mentor programs, I think was the next one. Churches often have mentor programs or mentorship programs where experienced fathers provide guidance and support to younger or less experienced dads. And this one-on-one mentorship can be incredibly valuable for personal growth and practical advice. What about family life courses? Those address the dynamics of family life, how to balance work, family, foster a loving home environment, instill Christian values. Then you got support groups. There are support groups for fathers to provide safe spaces to share successes and challenges and encouragement. And then you got workshops on specific issues. Like there's churches out there that offer workshops on parenting challenges, like raising teenagers specifically.
And that's a challenge.
Handling special needs children or managing blended families the way that Dewayne is going through.
Yep.
Like they provide specific issues on these. These sessions they provide targeted advice and biblical guidance. And by participating in these programs, men can gain invaluable insights, tools, and spiritual encouragement to help them become the best fathers that they can be, grounded in faith and community support. So guys, if you're wondering how to be just a little bit better than you are, or I could argue a whole lot better, then reach out to your local church. And most of these programs are free. And if they charge some sort of fee, it's not that much. It's like $20-$30 or something. And sometimes there are courses of like 8 weeks or 12 weeks. It is well worth the money. And if you do it for no other reason, do it for your kids. And also it'll be a great way for you to meet like-minded men who are going through the same challenges that you guys are going through. And it'll just help you guys become better men, better leaders, better fathers. While I'm thinking about it, if you guys wouldn't mind liking, subscribing to the channel. Dewayne and I have new Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channels. It's called The Big Show by Jimmy Smith. We would appreciate your guys' support by liking and sharing the channel. So if you know someone who could benefit from this podcast we're doing today, feel free to share it with them. We need to reach as many men as we possibly can. What I want to do now, Dewayne, is let's switch gears.
All right.
Let's talk about something that I know gets under your skin specifically. Okay. Ooh. Just try not to fly too far off the deep end on this one. Okay. Try to stay in your seat on this one.
All right. I'll try. No promises.
Yeah, me either. Because it kind of grinds my gears as well, man. And you and I have talked about this, man, hours and hours before. And that is how the world tells men that we are not important.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I have a picture. I think that'll frame it all up here nicely. Hold on, let me get to that one. Here we go. This pretty well, and it's something I remembered from years past. But when Jennifer Aniston, women don't need men.
Oh my goodness, come on.
And that's the sentiment. That's, I mean, again, name a TV show, a commercial, anything that doesn't show men as complete morons.
Right.
We're always the butt of jokes. We don't know how to do anything. We're always now. There was one that I found. I'm just going to throw it out there. I thought about this. I've went. You know what? This would be. I don't play golf, but this would be kind of fun to do. So every once in a while they do get it right, but for the most part, they show men as bumbling fools. We can't raise our kids. As you start becoming more and more aware of what's out there, you're able to pick it out every time. The woman usurps the man's authority or makes him look like an idiot or stuff like that. It grinds my gears. I just get more and more pissed off because I'm so tired of men being looked at as the idiot. It's not who we are. It's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not who we are.
Yeah.
And
it's not.
Grinds my gears.
It grinds mine as well, because when you are a man and you live in a world where everyone tells you how unimportant you are, it starts to get to you, even the best of us. And in today's society, there are pervasive messages that can lead men to feel undervalued and unimportant, particularly in the roles as fathers and family leaders.
Oh, yeah.
To your earlier point, the media portrays and often depicts fathers as inept or unnecessary, regulating them to be in the background while emphasizing the indispensability of mothers. And this narrative can be seen in TV shows and movies, advertisements,
everywhere.
And they frequently marginalize the importance of fatherhood and depict men as less capable of nurturing and parenting. And it's just not true. The stats just prove that it's not true. And additionally, social and legal systems sometimes reinforce this perception because family courts, for example, have historically favored mothers in custody battles. And that can leave fathers feeling excluded, undervalued, and this bias can contribute to the belief that men are not essential to their children's lives, undermining the men's confidence and willingness to engage fully as parents. We are doing it to ourselves. Mm-hmm. The workplace also plays a role, as societal expectations often pressure men to prioritize their careers over their families. They implying that their value lies primarily in the ability to provide financially rather than emotionally. Mm-hmm. And this can lead men to feelings of inadequacy and frustration when they strive to balance the professional responsibilities with their own active parenting. It is essential to counteract societal messages that diminish the role as fathers by promoting the value of fatherhood and encouraging men to embrace their vital roles in their families and acknowledging and celebrating the unique contributions of fathers. We need to all ensure that men feel valued and supported and empowered to be active, loving participants in their children's lives.
No, definitely. Want to give a shout out to Jeremy B. I'm trying to remember what are we at? It's a 20, the 89. Wait, what are we at? 80? Why are we at 89 now? We got joke upon joke upon joke now.
The jokes are multifaceted. It started off, of course, with the 25 for the 2.5 inches, right?
Yeah.
And then what was it? It was like 2 weeks ago. I remember. I was saying that all that I can give in the sack is about 64 seconds worth of great loving.
Okay.
Right. And I was happy that I'm finally above 1 minute. And I think that what that is that what it is? 25 plus 64.
25, yeah, right, the calculator there.
Yeah, 60, 64. Yeah, 89. So it must have been 64 because that's 89.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where it is. I think that's where Jeremy gets it.
We have a legend. You gotta have a legend of like where all our jokes come from because we're old.
Yeah, Jeremy, can you put together an Excel spreadsheet for us, please, and just kind of keep that on file?
There you go.
So since the world constantly reminds men that we aren't shit, let me go ahead and tell you guys 64 plus 25. Yeah, he got it. I just saw it. Yeah. So I'm going to take a quick second. Actually, it's not going to be quick. It's going to be about 5 minutes. I don't care.
Okay.
And I'm doing this for my guys, okay? All the guys out there that are sick and tired of the world telling you that you're not shit, that you're not good enough, that all you are good for is a paycheck, that you're not needed for your leadership, you're not needed for your emotional guidance, your spiritual guidance, all the above. I'm going to go through a few things to remind you guys just how important you actually are. Okay. You are so important in your children's lives. Okay. Many probably would agree that one of the plagues on our nation stems from the breakdown of the family, but with little care or concern for what might be the root cause. So instead, we become experts at pointing fingers back and forth. Yet study after study after study that Dewayne has show that when dads are involved with their children, they hold the key to solving a whole host of concerns. Everything from drug abuse to teen pregnancy to adolescent offing of yourself. That's because fathers present, and involved fathers is what I'm talking about, have a unique capacity to impact the development of children's personalities, skill sets, characters, and overall outlook of life. Men, you are so important. Never forget that. You are also essential and you are needed. And let me just take a quick pause, because you know what's sad is that
so many things,
so many things, right? But I sit here and I look into the camera. And I'm looking at all of you right now, looking back at me. And some of you are there with like this deer in the headlights kind of looking back at me, because when I say that you are important and I say that you are essential and you're needed, it's foreign. It's a foreign feeling to you because you guys have, some of you have never had anyone tell you that before. It's sad that for most men, the only time they'll ever hear someone say that they're proud of them or that they are appreciated is at their eulogy. And at that point, it's too late.
It's too late,
right? And so I'm going to make sure that before this podcast is done, that every one of you guys out there know just how important you are, how essential and how needed you are in the family. You bring essential guidance. Go ahead.
Well, I have a quick top 10 facts, or not, I'm sorry, not even top 10, but 10 facts on father engagement. It's kind of where I think you were going there. Let me throw it up there. So this is just, some data that's out there. You can read or come back at a later time and hit that, hit this section here. But, it gives some good percentages. These are all, again, peer-reviewed data that we've had over the last 60 years about fathers' engagement and, involvement with the children. And there's a lot more. Again, if you go to Pissed Off Parent, the app, you can pull all this information down, peruse it at your leisure. And it's just one of those things where it shouldn't even be a conversation. It shouldn't even be a negative discussion where someone's going to say, oh no, their fathers aren't. We just have so much data. And if you look at, actually, I have some other charts, that can show, changes. And there's just a lot of data out there that show what have happened when fathers are removed from the household, which is what they've been systematically done over the last 40, well, even longer than that, but we'll just say 30, 40 years.
Yeah. It's, we could do a full podcast on how important it is for guys to be a part of their children's lives. The teaching, the guidance, the motivation, the correction, the love, the feedback, all very important for development. You can give these anywhere and with no limit in creative day-to-day ways. Your impact, guys, is foundational and long-lasting. You are essential and you are needed. Another thing that you guys do is you provide structure and you provide discipline. And when you look at the research, they have found a variety of benefits stemming from a father's use of an authoritative parenting style. Yes, the authoritative parenting style, there's a ton of benefits from how men parent. This parenting style balances sensitivity and warmth with discipline and structure.
Right.
And with an authoritative parenting style, a father's children are less likely to have emotional and behavioral issues. His children are also more likely to do well socially and academically and relationally and developmentally when he balances high levels of both sensitivity and limits. You bring the needed structure and the discipline.
Well, we see the inverse of it. Here on this graph here, we see the inverse. There's another one. The expression, the young development, what's been happening over the years as fathers have been more and more removed from the picture. I mean, this is data that we have to work with.
Yeah.
It's all there. It's not just, two old guys, or I'm sorry, one old guy and one middle-aged guy, on a podcast emoting. This is, peer-reviewed data that shows this is what's happening, all from the destruction of the nuclear family. This is what's happening.
Men are amazing. Women are amazing. But today it's Father's Day, so we're going to talk about the men. Men, yep. You have literally, not figuratively, not metaphorically, you have literally built this world. You have played a significant role in shaping the world throughout history, contributing to various fields that have been fundamental to the development of modern society. And I'm talking about from ancient civilizations all the way to the present day. Men have been instrumental in the creation and advancement of infrastructure and technology and governance and culture. In the realm of infrastructure and engineering, men have designed and built monumental structures that stand as testaments to human ingenuity and perseverance, from the Great Wall of China to the pyramids of Gaza to the modern marvels like the Golden Gate Bridge, the International Space Center. Men's contributions to architecture and engineering have laid the foundation for the world that we live in today. Men did that, not women. Men did that. Let's talk about technological advancements driven largely by men. We have revolutionized the way that we live and work and communicate. Men have introduced innovations that have transformed industries and improved the quality of life worldwide. These breakthroughs have not only provided convenience, but also fueled economic growth and societal progress. Nearly every single technological advancement ever created was created by a man. Let's talk about governance and politics. I'm going right down the freaking line. Men have been in the forefront of establishing and leading nations, shaping policies, and driving moments for change since the dawn of time. Leaders like George Washington, Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, those guys and many others have left undeniable marks on history, guiding their countries through pivotal moments and advocating for justice, equality, and human rights. So thank you, men. Thank you for all the hard work that you put in to create every single nation on this planet. You did that. You did that. Thank you. The cultural landscape that has been profoundly influenced by men in the arts as well. Literature, philosophy, visionaries like William Shakespeare, Leonardo da Vinci, Beethoven.
Not DiCaprio?
No.
I get those confused. Yeah. Okay.
But they have enriched human culture with their creative expressions. They've left legacies that continue to inspire and resonate. Men are both artistic and impressive, so thank you. But let me talk about something. This is what you and I were talking about before we jumped on live. Here it comes.
Okay.
Let me talk about the next thing that's really going to strike a nerve for ladies. And I'm just going to say it. Although men don't receive the recognition they deserve for shaping the world that we live in, you want to know what men's most profound contribution is, Dewayne? Besides everything I just mentioned, you want to know what men's most profound contribution is? Oh, it's going to start pissing people off.
Hit me. Well, I have no idea.
Men are the creators of life.
Oh, yeah.
Not women. Men create women. Men create life. If you listen to females talk, you'll quickly begin to think that they are responsible for creating life. After all, it's one of the things that they brag about the most when you ask them what their contribution to the world is. The truth is, however, that they are wrong. Respectfully, no woman in the history of humanity has ever created life. Men are the creators of life. Women bring about life. Women carry and nurture a developing fetus during pregnancy. Men contribute to the creation of life through the fertilization of the egg with sperm, initiating the process of conception. Inside of each of your sex is 100 to 200 million little life forms. A woman's eggs lie dormant and are useless without the seed of life from a man. Her eggs are dead until a man puts life within her. Moreover, men determine the sex of the baby through chromosomes carried in their sperm. Women only carry the X chromosome, whereas men carry both the X and the Y chromosome. So men also dictate the sex of the baby. So everyone out there should be thanking their fathers for creating them because their mothers only brought them to term. Your mother did not create you. Your father created you.
Did you know that the woman, though, from the woman's side determines if the man or if the child will have hair or not? I don't know if that's a touchy subject or not, but throwing it out there.
Why, mother? Why? I got plenty of hair. It's just on my back, you know?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Back, ears, butt. Yeah.
So, look, this is not a woman ain't shit podcast. This is not what I'm saying. Okay. Women are essential and important. I'm saying that for one day out of 365.
Why do they get their hackles up? Why do they get their hackles up?
Because they have to have it all, dude. They have to have it all. You don't believe me? Go on Facebook and take a look at all the women right now talking about how Happy Father's Day to them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Saw a few of those.
Now, granted, I do see a lot of women saying thank you to their personal fathers or, things like that. Right. It's really more women talking about Happy Father's Day to their father. And me personally, have not seen a woman on Facebook today that has ever posted that said, thank you to the father of my kids. Actually,
I did. I saw.
You saw him? Good.
I did see. Yeah, I was on there a little bit, but yeah, I did see two separate occasions. The mom thanking her husband for bringing the children into the world. So,
when it comes to
there are a few good ones out there. There are a couple.
There are some good women out there.
Yeah,
there are definitely some good women out there, and thank the Lord for those women. But when it comes to creating life, I do honestly feel, with all due respect to women, that women take too much credit. And they and not all, but some have this God complex because they
believe in nonsense.
Yeah, they get pregnant and they give birth to children, and a woman, a woman carries the life that men put in her. Without a man, there is no life in a woman. Men are the ones that carry life. Men are the ones that put life in a woman. Men are the reason why society is even in existence. Look around you guys. Everything you see on this planet, everything. If you're in the car right now, everything you're touching and looking at, when you're driving down the streets, everything you see, if you're in an office, if you're in your living room, if you're at the kitchen table, look around you. Everything that you can touch, taste, smell, and see has been designed, created, and maintained by men. Nearly everything, including the people on this planet. Men have created it all, but you don't hear men brag about it, do you?
That's the thing. Yeah, we don't brag about it. We get to listen to the feminazi nonsense and pushing back and we're like, well, hey, no, actually, when you look at the data, we did all these things. And then they go victim mode. Also, chapter 2 of the feminist lie. That's one of their debate tactics, is after they get bulls where they do their nonsense, they get their flying monkeys. And then when you finally get tired of listening to the nonsense, you push back and go fact. Then they go the crying route, and it's just blah, blah, blah. And that's just, yeah. And it's part of the curse. I don't know if we'll get to this part of it, but I did a little Genesis action and pulled in some stuff there to kind of, and maybe it's the first time some people are actually reading that part of Genesis. By some of the feminists I've talked to, it will obviously seem so. But looking at, what happened, the curse, what the certain things mean, why it's actually in the Bible, how it talks about why women are hostile and mean towards their husbands, and this why the man is to rule over the woman. That's biblical.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can go off on tangents.
And to your point, check out this.
Oh.
Listen to this waste of 2 hours of airtime a few times. Thank you for listening to our waste.
Thank you. Cool.
And your hypocritical viewpoint and your disrespectful towards women is constant, but you speak to have a father's respect their wives and mothers according to the church. How you view women is not something either of you show responsibly of being a man. First of all, Beta, you sound like a woman talking right now. Because that would be something that a woman would come out and spew nonsense, because women tend to listen with their feelings instead of listening with their ears. And that's why you find it, Beta. That's why you find it very hypocritical for me to talk about and give praise to women after talking about what men do so well, is because in your little woman mind, you can't decipher the fact between actual facts and feelings. And so whenever you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth, you only hear them through how you're feeling about them. You're not masculine and manly enough. Your balls haven't dropped well enough for you to be able to go, you know what? Women are not the gems of the world. They're not perfect in every way. Men can contribute to the world. Men do build the world. Men do have a profound impact on the world. And so that's why in a brain like yours, whenever you hear me say praises to women, it contradicts the feelings you have, because you can't understand that both of those things can be true in the same realm. You can both praise all the contributions that men bring to the world, in addition to all the contributions that women bring to the world. But hey, don't let that stop you from nursing on your mom's teat after the podcast today. You make sure that you get plenty of that milk.
Oh, that's good stuff. Well, hey, we got looks like, Jeremy. Well, what we got here? Speaking of hair, how amazing does Dewayne? Oh, all right, getting compliments. Talk about premium DNA. Yes, the coif is all locked in and everything.
It does look pretty dapper today.
But I'll never have a beard like Jeremy's. It'll never. No. I got like this right here doesn't do it. So I have to do the whole comb over down or whatever. No, that and this is the double chin to hide that. But yeah, we'll never have the beard of the Jeremy Meister.
No, dude. He grows a spectacular beard.
I know. I'm jealous. I'm so jelly. Oh God.
So let's talk let's talk a little bit more about men creating life. Okay.
And if you want to go into Genesis, let me know. I'm ready.
Yeah. When you're planting food, flowers, plants, you need a seed and you need the ground. Is the dirt on the ground responsible for creating life? No. The ground is just dirt without a seed planted into it. The ground receives the seed that man plants in it. The ground does not have life in it. The seed harbors life, and only men carry the seed of life. So all I'm saying is that we should start giving men credit for what they do. Men create life. Women want to take the glory for everything. Not all women, but a lot of them do. They want that feeling of entitlement and to take credit for things they did not do. And women have gotten, especially modern women, they've gotten so entitled that they actually think that the children are hers and not the man's. How many times have we all seen that? I'm not saying that women don't have an important role. They have an important role. But
we've never said like women are useless or women. they can, I mean, you said even on this show that women bring a lot, the nurturing piece to the child, but the man brings discipline, structure, and they need those things. And that's, again, when you got the simp white, or I'll just call them women wannabes, that just their feelings, that all they do is feeling. They don't think logically. That's, they just, then they can't grasp it like a child. And, as they say, how you're supposed to speak to a child. Anyway, sorry, I had to jump there. It ticks me off because people deal in these world of absolutes. If you were to say, and it shows how incredibly dumbed down society's got. There was a study that says that most of the United States anyway, they can't read above like a 4th or 5th grade level. So when you're talking with people, you have to understand that your message is being understood more than likely by someone in 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah.
And
here's more proof to it.
Oh boy.
You just use the airtime to demean women. How are either of you role models, and definitely should be ashamed of what you put out. So how is anything that we've said today shameful? Like that's what's really sad about today's society, is that men like this guy is so feminized.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if some sort of chaos manifests itself in this world? I'd have to grab my sword and shield and protect this beta along with his own wife and his kids. I'd have to protect him because he's just so much in his feelings. Like, where are the good men at, man? Where are the men?
They've been beat down.
I swear, man.
Again, this should become like a little bit of a Bible, because it talks about what they do is they'll make a disingenuous argument. And I think we've seen an exhibit there, and it's meant to shut you down. Unfortunately, men are like, I don't want to deal with the nonsense. I'm moving on. I got work to do. I got stuff to do. I'm just not even going to deal with your nonsense. And then they get emboldened. It's almost in a weird way like a bully. They take your pencil in school, and you're like, I'm not going to say anything because I want to get in the middle of it. And then they do something else, and it just gets worse and worse and worse until you finally have to put a stop to it. And it's usually a bigger issue. Then they cry like little girls. Well, I got beat on, whatever.
And all you got to do is just ask one question. I'm going to ask Dana this question. Dana, tell me one thing that's been said today that is untrue.
Oh, well, there's the other part. What's untrue? Yeah. I mean, we've got receipts for everything here.
Yeah. We don't just run our mouths, gives our opinions. We back them up with data, stats, and statistics. So, to make sure that Dana doesn't go through menopause, I want to go ahead and make sure that everyone knows that what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that women don't have an important role. They have a very important role.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that women do not create life and never have. And it's just time to give credit where credit is due. So that being said, to all the men out there, thank you.
Wait a second. That's why they're wanting to say men can have kids. Because then if someone, if says that only women can have children, then you would get upset. Well, what about me? That's unfair. That hurts my feelings. That's W. Sorry. All right. I get it now. Let's move on to more important topics.
So I just want to make sure that, guys are getting credit for all the things that they do. This is not to take away from all the important, wonderful things that women contribute to in society. It's to highlight and thank the guys for
on
what they
Father's
do.
Day. On Father's Day.
Dana, is that okay if we talk about how awesome guys are one day, or do you want all 365 for you? I don't know, Dana, but your wife has a very awesome wife herself. So to all the men out there, thank you. Thank you for creating every human life that you see in the world. Thank you for creating every house, every bridge, every building, the technology, the roads, the vehicles, the gadgets that men and women get to enjoy. Thank you. And I'm so sorry that we live in a world where the first time most of you hear appreciation and thanks is at your eulogy. I'm so sorry. To all the real women, because they love to talk about real men, to all the real women and the real children who do tell their husbands and their fathers how much you appreciate them, thank you. Thank you so much. And you are welcome. From behalf of me to all the guys, you are welcome. We do it because we love you. So for what it's worth, just want to say thank you to all the guys out there on Father's Day for all the things that they do. We really appreciate everything that you do. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, men, for all the things that you do. So you guys are important and you guys are special. While I'm thinking about it, once again, if you guys don't mind, please like and share and subscribe to the video. Be sure that you guys are following The Big Show by Jimmy Smith to help grow the channel. Apparently Facebook changed their policies where you can't post a video on Facebook now unless you have 100 followers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't post my videos on Facebook because my Facebook account sucks apparently, and I don't have at least 100 followers. So it's all good. But so we can do one or two things, Dewayne, and it's up to you. We're at about an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, hour and 10.
We can go ahead and close the show out, or we can continue on for another 15, 20 minutes and talk about maybe some, I can go over some reasons why fathers are important in a child's life, or we can close it out. What do you want to do on Father's Day?
I say let's go for it. And if people want to hang out, they hang out. I mean, I still want to talk about the whole Genesis thing.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Let's do it. So people may not understand this, and I would say for the ladies especially, hear it all out, because you're going to get probably a little butt hurt at first. But this is the view I hold. So send all your hate mail, whatever, to me. I'll trash it. But this is out of Genesis 2, and it says, "But for Adam, no suitable helper was found. The Lord calls man, blah, blah, blah. The Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man. He had brought her to the man." And I'll let you read through the rest here. I'm not going to narrate the whole thing, but just another emphasis on she was taken out of man. This is why man leaves his father and mother and unites to his wife, and they become one flesh. All right. So here's a breakdown of kind of what that means. And, I won't go through a whole lot of it. You can come back and watch at your leisure, or pull it up and, read your own lexicon on that. But, where it's going to probably, I want the men to listen to as well, is when we talk about this, and I'm not sure that it may be in a different area that I was reading in, but it actually is in a different spot there, but I'll kind of talk about it here, and hopefully I have that part. Oh, wait, no, it's actually on a different slide, but it just talks about the relation of men and women. And again, you can kind of read there. I'm going to quickly go through that, read, at your leisure. But, outside of the first event, again, talking biblically, second and then on, there is some interdependence, but, the woman is dependent on the man. Every man has been born of a woman, therefore man is not independent of a woman. There is a symbiotic relationship there going forward, and that we should be relying on. And that talks to, while men and women, and I don't even want to use the word equal because it always gets misconstrued. Men with that umbrella have the higher position, but we're always serving God. That's our role, and everyone else falls in line. And for the ladies out there that are like, "Oh yeah, me, I do that." No, you don't. I'm just going to throw it out there right now. And I really don't care what y'all think. You don't. All right. So we talk about, let's see here to make sure I may have got these out of space here. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. This was the helper fit for him. We talk about the helpmate. This talks to what that helper means, is that it's supposed to support and complement the husband, and that God, himself empowers. Her strengths balance both his strengths and weaknesses. I've talked about that. I don't know how many times on the show. Under fear of the Lord be praised, or wisdom counters foolishness. Respect for 100 and enlivens his confidence, and talks to that. And there's different verses that kind of back that information up there. And I'm trying to go a little quickly here. You can go back and read on your own, or do your own study. But we do talk about the fall, and we talk about the serpent. Put in that whatever you want to believe. So what I always find interesting about this, I've talked about it a number of times, is that the serpent, whoever the deceiver, however you want to call him, comes along and deceives the woman. She was pretty well deceived. Now, is there a question that Adam said something? Yeah, okay, we'll just kind of leave that out. But she went off her feelings, not the facts. Like, ooh, I should go talk to my husband, who knew what was going on. She went ahead and said, I can do it on my own. I don't need a man. You can, paraphrase that. So she went ahead and did it, and then went to her husband. Now her husband knew it was wrong, but she looked really good naked. Whatever reason we want to have for Eve, went ahead and ate that. Now that part was bad on his own because he 100% knew what he was doing was wrong, but he did not want to have issues with his wife. So he went ahead and did that. Now, when the big guy came down, did his little thing with them. This is where in verse 11, this is where it got messed up. 12 is the first thing the man does is he blames the wife for what he did. He didn't stand up and be a man. And then from there, she said, I was deceived and I ate of it. So, the man is actually the one that really did it because he knew what was going on and he decided not to do it. Now, and then of course, now we talk about what the curse was. Now, I did a little, and again, I know I'm going kind of quick here. But so when God delivers the curse on all of mankind, on everybody, the man's got to, toil the soil and all that fun stuff. The woman has childbirth. But the part that I wanted to talk to is in verse 16. Your desire will be for your husband and he will rule over you. That part there I want to do kind of a stickler on because the whole the enmity part is, and I think that may have been the translation, the state of feeling or being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. That's that whole, there's enmity between the man and the woman. The woman is going to have hostility towards the man. And from there, boy, I should have done this a little bit differently now that I'm talking through it. But the whole desire is she wants his position. Let me go back one here so everybody can kind of see that. There we go. Here's all of your front and he will rule over you. So where's the part about enmity? There's because I read a few different versions of it as I was going through. Okay, you know what? I'll skip over that. But the desire would be for your husband, he will rule over you. That is setting up that order of God, man, woman, children, and how that is supposed to work. And let's see here. I'm skipping all over the place now because now my stuff's out of order. I did want to just kind of end with this piece of it. Oh God, I have so much more on this stuff. I should have went through it. Probably need to have a whole podcast on this part of it. But when we talk, again, for the guys to listen in, the guys call to husbands in response to a wife's destructive desire. God emphasizes that the husband shall rule over you. Elsewhere, the same construction. Slaves manage the property of their master. Joseph oversees Egypt. And a woman scantily governs God's people. There's nothing in the nature of the rule that implies abuse. So when I know a lot when women read this or hear about it, they think that ruling would be, he's abusing or lording over you. That's not what these things mean. And I would just invite everyone to do a further deep dive on that and get some additional information. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have a lot of stuff on that probably I just need to put it into a whole different thing there. Oh, here's the part about the desire. The proper role of a husband is to manifest strong, committed, sacrificial leadership and not a self-exalting supremacy. A God-honoring head keeps his vows and guards his wife and children from making foolish ones. He seeks to please his wife and loves her as his own body, supplying for her both spiritual and physically, just as Christ of the church. He understands her needs and her frame, but never being harsh with her and treating her as a co-heir of the grace of life. And as it talks through, boy, okay. I went really far into this. I did want to talk about this part here to kind of end with the godly marriage in a cursed world. The wife being the helper who is not domineering, manipulative, coercive, passive, or destructive. And basically just kind of closing with the woman's job is not to be those things. She's supposed to be a helper, a helpmate to the husband as the ruler of the house. All right. I went too fast. I'm sure I confused everybody. Go back, watch it, read it. I would say crack open your Bibles, read it on your own, and pull whatever discernment you need to from that. And that's all I have on the topic.
That's good stuff, though, man. It's good stuff.
I went a little quick, and I got a little jumbled up, but I probably need to go ahead and prepare just that section. I thought we were going to be coming into it at a different part, so I kind of try to pull that around. But the thing is that, and that's what we see in society today, is that women are always vying for the man's headship position. Mm-hmm. But they all want to be married. They all want to be Christian. You were talking earlier about wanting a Christian man. And that's why I laugh and say none of them do. Because if they did, they would honor these things. And they'll, of course, say, well, he's going to be God honoring. That's not what it says. Their job is to be the helpmate of their husband, not if he does this or if he does that or if he doesn't do this. That's why it makes sense to choose well. Anyway, all right, I'll stop there.
Okay. Well, no, it's all definitely good stuff. But, I guess in a nutshell, the reasons why fathers are important to a child's life are definitely multifaceted. They're deeply impactful, from providing security, emotional development, from fostering independence and resilience. Fathers have a unique, irreplaceable role in shaping their kids' lives. It's just undeniable. So today, what I wanted to do and what Dewayne want to do is just highlight all the importance that men bring to their families, highlight the importance that men contribute to the development of their children. Men's influence is not just complementary to the mothers, but stands as a vital pillar of the comprehensive development of their children. Understanding why fathers are awesome, why dads are important, why the father is important in our lives, it just highlights the invaluable contributions they make to family and to society. So, guys, happy Father's Day out there. Thank you for all that you do. In a world where, again, guys don't get told enough, thank you. I respect you. I appreciate you. And, the world needs good men. The world needs good fathers and good men. So hopefully some of the tips and advice that we give on a biblical standpoint can help you guys understand how to maybe upgrade your ability to parent a little bit more. If that's something that you guys wanted to do, that is up to you, not pushing anything on you. But Dewayne, you have anything before we go into the final thoughts?
No, just I think everything's pretty much been said. Happy Father's Day to all the dads that are here with us, the ones that aren't with us anymore. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have.
Okay, cool. Well, then let's go to final thoughts. So as we conclude today's podcast, it's clear that the role of a father is profound. It's clear that the role of a father is irreplaceable. Fathers are the pillars of strength and wisdom and love in their family. Fathers shape the lives of their children in ways that resonate through generations. Today, we celebrate and honor all fathers for their dedication, their sacrifice, and their unwavering support. So happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. Your role is invaluable. Your impact is immeasurable. Thank you for all that you do today and every day. Happy Father's Day. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in today for the big show hosted by myself, Jimmy Smith. We really appreciate it. On behalf of my co-host, Dewayne Ward and Eric Carroll, keep pushing to be the best version of yourself that you can be. We'll see you guys here on Dad Talk Today next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Until then, you guys have a great rest of your Father's Day, and we'll see you guys next week.